All right, gents, we are back in a brand new season, or I would say pre-season lah. It's the pre-season of Bollock Studios, where football will always continue to nutmeg the nonsense. So join with me in our respective studios lah, the usual dynamic duos lah. So myself, Matt, your host, and of course Shariff. Welcome back, man. I know it's been quite a while. It's been quite a while. You bloody hell. Yeah. I know. It's partly me. Partly me as well. Yeah, I just got a little too busy to my liking lah. So yeah, that having said, I mean, of course, I know exactly right. But of course, the show still must go on. And of course, that having said, wow, a lot of things have happened, man, in this pre-season. So here we are in this episode. We are going to cover a couple of topics on a little summary of the preseason just before we begin the official English Premier League of the upcoming season. Yeah. So of course we also will be talking on bits and pieces of the transfers. What do we make of the transfers? And we're about to find out based on our respective opinions and comments or criticism, more on criticism. and of course, considering the upcoming season, let's see what's next and a little insights on our shared opinions, maybe more of yours lah, Shari, because you have watched the Mourinho documentary. I am yet to watch it.
I'll try not to spoil.
I don't... But again, we welcome opinions, right? And but yeah, so let's get into it, man. So, hi, Shariff. What a pre-season lah. Oh man. I mean, looking at in from a surface, right? 6 games, pretty level in results. We lost against Wrexham. We lost against Ruben Amorim's AC Milan. Just to end the bloody preseason, right? And of course, in between, we won against Rosenborg. We beat Atletico Madrid, drew against PSG. Do you want to consider Leeds as a draw or probably a win? I don't know, because it was a level scoreline. But then, of course, on penalties, the match went into penalties and all that stuff. So we're not going to get into so much depth about it. But Shariff, I don't know about you, man, but the pre-season, we can still argue, right? I mean, it's the pre-season lah. Kalau menang, the fans jadi gila. Oh, we're that good lah and all that. But when it comes to matches in the pre-season that we lose, or it gets into our nerves at times. I mean, what did you make of the overall pre-season lah, Sharif?
It's first of all, I think it's a preseason with trophies, right? You mentioned 6 games, so within 6 games we had 2 trophies. I think one is the Snapdragon and one I do not know what is it called. And then
can't recall,
so yeah, like you mentioned about the loss with Milan, that if we won that, we might have won our first treble since 2006.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. But on a serious note, I think there are positive and things that it still needs to be said again, and things has not changed or has not been improved or has not been resolved yet, right? Maybe I start with the positive stuff. I think positive is that we are seeing certain new young players coming in, right? I'm pretty excited. I'm hoping to see Shea Lacey more, right, in the Premier League, right? But that also depends on where he play, where he play, or
How
if
they play.
he play, if he play, right? Uh, yeah, a little bit banter about that, right?
Yep.
And also JJ Gabriel, right? I know it's 15 years old, but I think it's a big risk or a big ask if you were going to see JJ Gabriel more. And another positive is that maybe some might look at this as not good, because I think this is the first World Cup that we did not had many representatives from Man United, so we had a lot of players, right, are there at the beginning of the match. I think only Lisandro Martinez only came in only for Milan last game, but all others were there. So they were in the beginning. The only downfall was we miss Benjamin Sesko, right? He has his shin injury again. So that's a little bit what do you call that, downfall, right, on people getting their match fitness and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I see lots of traveling, but around Europe. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's something that maybe things have changed, that they didn't do any Asia tour or any American tour,
Mm-hmm.
or like like last season they did a post-season, not pre-season, post-season, right?
Post-season.
Yeah, I think that might have take a certain toll. Of course, we got certain commercial yeah, money in,
Mm-hmm.
right? Revenue in. But yeah, I think it's a very calculated preseason. It's a very well planned preseason. And but yeah, I have to come down to the last game of AC Milan, right? But yeah, before that, or before I talk about that, yeah, pretty much that sum up. I think good stuff that I think players got their match fitness. Especially we got the new signings in Andre Santos
Mm-hmm.
in early,
Mm-hmm.
and then Yuri Tillemans also as well, right? But yeah, the a little bit of negative, a little bit of things can be better is definitely the rhythm of play, right? Especially with AC Milan. But I will touch that on that. But I would like to hear your thoughts on that, Matthew, as well.
Yeah, I can agree as well. I mean,
Mm,
overall, right, results as a
mm,
whole seems pretty well balanced, right?
mm,
We can still argue or maybe talk a bit of good points or a bit of areas which is alarming and all that stuff, right? Because
mm,
at the end of the day, pre-seasons are typically players' match fitness, probably trying to explore sort of rhythms in terms of preparing for the official season when it starts and all that stuff, right? So you brought up about Shea Lacey. I remember saying this last season as well, right? It's a player to watch, but maybe it's just my opinion, right? I think he would come in good. However, it's whether, where they play, how they play, if they play. So, if,
yeah.
but again, in the name of exploring areas of the new signings, I agree as well, right? I don't dare comment much. Okay, putting aside Yuri Tillemans, Andre Santos. Why I not not intentionally want to pick on him because it's a player that we can't really comment
Mm,
too much given his game time during his stint in Chelsea, right? Can't comment. Anyone and everyone who spoke to me offline as well. None of us
exactly.
can, right? So
Mm,
no one
mm,
can, right? But however, yes, he played in Chelsea, although not much game time, but there is some pretty good glimpse. I'm quite positive about it. I mean, it's just me being me. I'm a nice guy, right? I'm a nice guy, right? I like to look on the bright side of things. But again, there are still narratives out there talking about replacing Casemiro and all that stuff. We even spoke about it. I don't think you can, but you can get bits and pieces of that sort of style of play, incorporate that with whoever he's playing alongside with. I think that would make a bit of sense, right? But of course, bringing in Yuri Tillemans, he should have joined United earlier. But in addition to that, I think um, yeah, from last season to now, yes, there are some degree of attacking talent there as well, right? Bruno Fernandes. I know it's only towards I think against AC Milan, right? Although he went missing for a while against AC
Quite
Milan, not
long.
I know quite long he went missing, right? But again,
Mm,
look, he had a World Cup and does preseason tell us everything? Not entirely. So give the man time as well, right? And overall, I think it's about exploring new tactics, trying to identify who would be in his squad in the coming season to prepare them as well, right? So I will look at it that way, lah, if you ask me. So I'll be honest, I'm not too hyped up. I know on offline, you make fun of me. Oh, man, jumping, and all that stuff, right? But I mean, being real about it, right? It's like I know I take it as it's a good. I mean, it's an okay preseason. It's not like overly hyped up for me, right? In the sense of we've won like all straight 5 or 6 games and all that stuff, and then fans start jumping, and then when you start the season, it's like, hey, wait a minute, man, what's happening?
mm,
Why didn't we see this in the why we saw this in the preseason, but it didn't happen? It's not happening now. And yeah, so for me, that's how I would probably sum the preseason. So yeah, with that having said, right, I know we equally touched on some of the new additions. So
mm.
pretty nice segue to the transfers that United has made, right? I mean, of course, some of the notable names that I just mentioned earlier, in the likes of Andre Santos, Yuri Tillemans, and Carl Darlow, young keeper. I'm not too sure where that came about, right? But I mean, let's talk about the current signings and looking at the existing squad. What would be ideal that could perhaps elevate, or shall I say, be able to compete lah, not to win lah. Let's put it that way, right? That's just the fan base now, right? It's like I can finish a certain level is good enough, right? But of course, we want to still compete. So, in your opinion, lah, Sharif, what do you make of this current transfers, and what's your thoughts, man?
Wow. In short, I think it's a not good summer transfer.
I'm agreeable. Yep.
I know. A lot of people were saying that, it's a good summer that
Mm-hmm.
that right now MU is spending, quote and unquote, smartly, right? Compared to previous
Mm-hmm.
regime or previous transfer windows
Mm-hmm.
where they went to panic buy. Uh, Two reasons why I say this, right? And this is also is a good segue. So I think, yes, it's a preseason game with
Mm-hmm.
Milan,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel that game, right? It tells a lot of story beside a preseason game,
Actually,
right?
I agree. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. One, um, bringing, of course, Yuri Tillemans and Andre Santos into the midfield,
Mm-hmm.
definitely it elevates the standard of the team itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, it does not solve everything. That's why I was saying earlier, that the preseason shows that the positive is that players are getting their match fitness, and then we have a lot of players early in the
Mm-hmm.
preseason.
Mm-hmm.
However, again, the issue is that we still need at least another midfield, right? Uh, Kobe Mainu came in. I don't see any impact, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bruno Fernandes, he's our talisman, but he can play 90 minutes, but can he play 90 minutes consistently, right? And definitely we need a different dynamic of the rhythm of the game when new midfield comes in. So maybe, this is my guess, because I didn't see that in that game, because Yuri Tillemans did play in a much more uh deeper role, right? I'm hoping to see when we go into season where you need certain of shift, right?
Mm-hmm.
From Bruno Fernandes, a little bit of idea, because clearly right now with Carrick, the team that Carrick builds around Bruno Fernandes is very fast transition. Bruno Fernandes, his creativity is not the the Iniesta or Xavi stuff, or very exquisite, right? I will not say panic, but it's very boom. Suddenly, suddenly you didn't,
Yep.
where
Yep.
when you're watching the live match, right? The camera cannot catch up where was
Yep.
and
Yep.
suddenly,
Yep.
there was a guy, there is a guy who's chasing that, right? So I will not use the word panic. It's very, very, very explosive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and that what happens, I think, with Milan. I think they control the possession. They understand what Carrick and what United tend to do,
Mm-hmm.
or the idea they work Ruben Amorim's 3-4 or 3-2-3
Yep.
2-1,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, very well.
Yep.
After first goal, I don't see United could
Yeah.
could
They
come
were
back.
lost. United was
Yeah,
lost. Yep.
and that shows that you need a different dimension. That's what I mean. So yeah, I'm hoping to see maybe Yuri Tillemans. This is also advantage of Yuri Tillemans, because he can play as a number 10, as a number
Yes.
6, as a number
Yes.
8, right? So maybe he can push a little bit up, and then Mainu can be pairing with Andre Santos,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or something like that, right? And then yeah, it gives a lot of options in the midfield, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like I mentioned, it shows that we still need a third midfield.
Mm-hmm.
And most important, I think right now, we are only like a week uh to go to Hull,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this is a bad summer transfer, and
Yep.
the preseason proves something, that if you don't solve now, then we are going to have a problem in the
Mm.
in the season itself, because clearly this team cannot play at least 2 games more, right? It's a build with 1 game. Luke Shaw was exhausted. Yes, people might argue that it's a preseason and everything, but we did not have a left back, I know a lot of us saying Dorgu can play there, Harry Amas can play there, but I
Yep.
didn't see anything. He
Yep.
played 90 minutes
Mm-hmm.
and he cost us all those 3 goals,
Yep.
right?
It all
On
came
his
from. Yep. It all came
all
from his
ca-
side. Yep.
yep, and you don't need speedy wingers as well. I think Loftus Cheek is not one of the fastest player over there. He just beat him,
Exactly.
right?
Huh.
And also Sané Lemons to his I think to his closest side, that also can people can argue, so maybe Sané Lemons can do a better save or not. But yeah, it all started onto the left hand side. It shows that Ruben Amorim and the team itself
Mm-hmm.
knows that's the weak point, and
Yep.
that's where they are targeting, and then they
Mm-hmm.
keep on targeting there. And
Yep.
and you could see Luke Shaw is not the person who's going to attack or who's going to
Mm-hmm.
defend
Mm-hmm.
the attacker. He's always like to tuck in, and then there's a lot of space
Yes.
around there for crosses,
Correct.
for Chukwueze looks like
Mm-hmm.
a prime
Oh yeah, man.
prime Messi, man,
I know. I know. What a player.
so yes, and that what happens, Matt, yeah, when you don't have options, and the options that you have is not that standard, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Luke Shaw is right now 31.
Yep.
He's injury prone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this also, yeah, it's a good segue to Mourinho. So we'll mention that as well, because Mourinho did mention it's not fitness; it's about your body size, your mass, your muscles.
Mm-hmm.
But fitness to to go up, to come down, to
Mm-hmm.
able to defend,
Yep.
and Luke Shaw couldn't do that. Luke Shaw
Mm-hmm.
couldn't do that, and we do not have an option. So yeah, so it's over to Ineos, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to definitely as a preseason, and I'm here also for the season to challenge Ineos, because I don't believe Ineos is the right. They are not bringing the club to the right way. People may argue otherwise, but I don't see that. Uh, I don't see them backing Carrick. I don't see that in the summer transfer window, right? And let me end this, Matt, because I have to say this, right? A lot of people say that let's play like Alex Ferguson. Let's try to follow Alex Ferguson, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I want to call them out also. I want to
Mm-hmm.
call fans as well, right? If you want to follow Alex Ferguson, you see Alex Ferguson also buys big players, right?
Yes.
Because
Marquee
when
signings. Yes.
marquee signings. Yes, exactly. Yes, yes. I do not want to touch all these other clubs, but there are also signings from Alex Ferguson, right,
Mm-hmm.
Sir Alex, that are inflated,
Yep.
right, and overpriced.
Mm-hmm.
To name few, Andy Cole was overpriced during that time, right?
Yep.
Dwight York,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you have Rio Ferdinand. I remember that time when
Highest.
I
Yeah.
think
Most expensive defender. Yeah. At
correct,
that time.
exactly.
Yep.
At that time, and there was a lot of backlash from the media. He's
Mm-hmm.
not proven. He's only playing
Mm-hmm.
for Leeds, who got relegated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that money we could buy, I think 25 or 22 million for Lilian Thuram, who is a proven defender,
Yep.
right? And that there you go. It's because the investment that we had, and after 7 years, we won the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
So when you want to be big, you got to sign big players. Of course, I agree. Yes, Ferguson did sign potential, quote and unquote, potential players,
Mm-hmm.
right? But he did sign big players, including Robin van Persie. So I will not sit here and say that that this is a good move by Ineos, because this is again again an excuse, agenda that Ineos is playing and milking to the fan base. Last year was we couldn't purchase because we didn't play in Europe. We
Mm-hmm.
don't have the revenue. We don't have the merchandise. We have to do this, do that. We have to cut that. This year we are in the Champions League, but we are not getting the best players out there, right? Yes, I agree. Alex Ferguson did also, pay quite a lot of big players that did not turn well, such as Veron, right? Joan Sebastian Veron was one of it. I know this is not a big player, but it was a big signing. So I think it was 20 something for Eric the Jemba Jemba as well,
Mm-hmm.
Kleberson as well,
Yep.
right? So what
Yep.
happened to them? So it's not all bait and roses, right? In every transfer window, right? So
Yep.
so you cannot get everything right,
Yep.
but at least what I see, to win, or like what you mentioned, to compete, to
Yep.
stay relevant,
Mm-hmm.
you got to sign big players, because when you sign big players, you change the mentality, you change the standard, you change the demand. And I did mention as well, it put pressure to Bruno Fernandes, to Luke Shaw, it put pressure to Benjamin Sesko, because to know that their place, if they don't perform, that someone else going to perform. Look at
Yeah.
Ruth Van Nistelrooy and Luis Saha,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
There you go. So for me, I would not sit here and then say that okay, it's very good that we behave like this. We buy young players, cheap players
Mm-hmm.
that has potential,
Mm-hmm.
but actually we are buying our F or D or I do not know our
Mm-hmm.
least option.
Mm-hmm.
So now Ineos need to answer, and that is why I will always stay to my opinion that I don't believe Ineos is the right owners that to bring United forward because they have been making decision wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Including Ruben Amorim as well. Ruben Amorim is a good coach, but they did not back him. And the preseason match shows that. Of course, it's a preseason, but it shows that when you back him, what's the first thing that the AC Milan president bought? His striker, Goncalo Ramos,
Yes.
and that's a big signing. That's a big
Yeah.
signing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the same thing as well. If last season, maybe if we have got Ollie Watkins plus Benjamin Sesko, it might be different, right? And again, I'm hoping for us again, if we have the time and if we have the resources, go for it. Go for an Ollie Watkins. Go for Mateta. At least we cannot allow this is what happened when we don't have Benitez Sesko. We try to find solution from
Mm-hmm.
Brian Mbuemo, Cunha. They are good players,
Yep.
but they are not strikers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And,
True.
and we need someone to lead up front who have the killer instinct, who know that we are going to get at least 15 goals out of them to
Mm-hmm.
any match, right?
Yep.
So now I don't see also where the goals are coming from. And you mentioned Casemiro as well,
Mm-hmm.
Matt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Casemiro last season gave us 9 goals from set
Yep.
pieces.
Yep.
So that is also somewhere that we need to find as well. I don't think Andres Santos is there. So of course, it's not fair to say Andres Santos have to score 9 goals, but that is another 9 goals that
Yep.
you need to find for. So
Correct.
that is why. So this is another for me, in my opinion, that you need to sign striker, and I'm suggesting and I'm proposing Ollie Watkins because you're gonna get at least 15 goals from them. There
Mm-hmm.
you go. You have more than 9 goals from the
Yep.
options of that, and
Yep.
then you can rotate, and then Benjamin Sesko can learn from him as well. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't whether Ineos going to do this. I don't know, and I don't think we are going to stay relevant anymore, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, actually, I agree, man. It's a question to even the fans out there as well, right? With all this, I mean, the existing transfers, are we aiming to be relevant, right? Or let alone to challenge, to compete and all that stuff, right? But again, the point to bring up as well is this the transfer strategy of Ineos, right? To not overspend and bring in this sort of, all the, like the A listers, perhaps go with like the B or C's or the D's and all that stuff, right? Like the recent one, we spoke about previously, Mateus Fernandez, right? That ended up in Spurs, right? They backed out from a bidding war. Is that, I don't know about you, but then I feel that okay, it makes sense. Why would they want to pay 85 over million for a player like him, right? But this question still remains as well. How good was he? Right? When in West Ham, yes, his previous club got relegated, but does that make him a bad player? No. We signed a couple of
Yeah,
relegated players in the past. They ended
Cunha
up
is
turning
one. Yeah,
champions.
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
became champions.
Alan
So
Smith.
yeah, exactly. Alan
Mm,
Smith. I mean, let's put Rio
mm,
Ferdinand in that mixer as well, right?
yeah,
All
yeah.
from relegation, all relegated, join United, wins eventually. So, so yeah, that's why I'm still quite puzzled. Like, is this Ineos's strategy, which could it backfire, Carrick? Because the last thing we all want is the manager is not backed, and at the end, you know what? Shown the exit door.
And this
Yeah,
is why, sorry to interrupt, Matt, and
yeah.
this is why it's called preseason because we get like a trailer,
Yes.
like a pre what's
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
happen,
yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Exactly. And this is and of course I do not want to straight away be on a negative foot because things
Mm-hmm.
have not happened.
Yep.
But if what I believe and based on what we see, right, for the last 13 years, it still have not changed. I understand. Like you mentioned strategy. What is the strategy? If this is the strategy to get B and C players without marquee signing, I just told that even Sir Alex got certain marquee signings to back
Yes.
up
Mm-hmm.
those potential players as well because
Yes.
you have to compete. You have to compete with Liverpool, who's bringing Barcola in, who's bringing Araujo in as a centre back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there you have Van Dijk and Araujo who will eventually comes in when once Van Dijk sunset,
Should
right?
he? Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And here we have still relying Harry Maguire. If let's say right now, right? For example, we have at least center backs right now. We have Harry Maguire, Lenny Yoro,
Eden Heaven.
Martinez, Aiden Heaven,
Mhm.
Martinez. Am I missing anyone?
So far 4. Yeah, these are the
Four,
4.
right?
Yeah.
Yep. Lisandro Martinez is injury prone,
Mhm.
right?
Oh yeah,
Harry
Matthias Delic. Yeah, Matthias
Matthias
Delic.
Delic.
Yes,
Yes.
5.
Matthias. So where is he right now? So he's also injury prone.
Mm.
Aiden Heaven is too young,
Mhm.
right? So what you have? You're left with Harry Maguire and Lenny Yoro. Can
Yes,
they play Champions League back to back with Premier League
correct.
and then run into FA Cup and everything? So
Mhm.
this is where I don't see the strategy is.
Correct.
Yes, we have the numbers. Oh, we have six or we have five defenders. But how many five can we define five?
Yeah, yeah,
We only
yeah,
have
exactly.
we only have two. Same
Mhm.
goes to the midfield as well. Same goes to
Mhm.
the midfield. Yes, we
True.
have Ugarte, we have Lenny. But then can they play that much of
Mhm.
games? We know that Tielemans did had an injury as well.
Mhm.
Tielemans, there's also a risk as well because he started playing very early, by the
Yes.
age of 16,
Mhm.
right? So there is also an argument of how much battery he have left in there. But of course,
Correct.
this is all anticipation or maybe
Mhm.
certain things that have not been done. But what
Mhm.
can I say vividly right now is that the game with AC Milan shows us that we should be getting at least three more players, a midfield, a left back, a striker, right?
Mhm.
And then second thing, uh Ineos should back Carrick because I don't see
By the
Ineos
looks of
backing
it.
up Carrick as
Yeah,
well.
by the
Yeah.
looks of it lah. Yep.
If it does not go if it does not go, I'm sure Carrick wants more players. But if
Mhm.
if Carrick going to come out after Hull and say that yes, I'm happy with the players we have, and he's going to repeat the same thing that what Ineos is saying, that we are smart, we want players that wants to play with us, then that's all BS. Sorry, Matt, because if that happens and you hear this first,
Mhm.
I'm sure he's going to go by February, man.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, you hear this first, man.
Coming
Yeah.
season, Carrick first one to get sacked.
Uh, I'm
Man.
not sure where is the first one, but yeah, I'm sure
In the
he's
mixer.
gonna
Yeah. Yeah.
he's gonna be by February or March, right?
Yeah.
Because again, because I'm sure Ineos will not spend in January, right?
Yep.
They had not spent
Okay.
for the last 2 to 3 years,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
and
yeah.
what gonna make them change, right? And
That's
yeah,
true.
and their signings, two 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 main signings. Of course, they bought certain kits and everything that you mentioned,
Yep.
the young
Yep.
goalkeeper,
Mhm.
but those players are not going to play now.
Exactly.
Those
We
players are not going to play in the Champions League.
correct. Ayo. So yeah, so that's the messed up part, right? Because
Still
it
not
it
changed.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's like
Still the same.
because when people I mean I think I mentioned earlier as well, right? When it comes to like, Matt, who do you think is the marquee signing for United? I'm like, what marquee signing? Okay lah. I
Maybe
mean, okay,
Yuri lah. Maybe Yuri lah.
exactly. And then I
Uh,
actually, I mean, this was all
mm,
offline lah, and I mentioned, right? I said, well, okay lah. I'm being nice to include Yuri Tillemans as that marquee signing.
yeah.
I mean, we give credit when due, right? Yuri
Mm.
Tillemans is an experienced Premier League proven player, Champions League. He has played Europas and all this. So, okay, he knows he is experienced in the European stage and the domestic stage as well. So, which I think I got to give that to him, right? So he definitely brings qualities, right? But what else, right? For United. So it's
Yeah.
shocking, right? Oh yeah,
What else? What
and
else?
to add not just the three like you mentioned earlier, defense, midfield, probably a striker. I think when you say defense, we must highlight right back, Yeah, so we have to highlight the right back area, Ah man, so that's another joke. But again, every department still needs, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with the goalkeeping department. Sen Lamans, I think it's all right. I still no, I take my hat off
I
for him.
think
I
it's
think
solid at the
he's
moment. Yeah.
solid. He's solid,
Mm,
right?
mm.
But the rest of the areas still needs addressing. But of course, I let the fans comment about their feelings
Yeah. Yeah.
about about Michael Carrick plans to reintegrate Marcus Rashford.
Ooh.
This one big talking point, man. But I mean, of course, we have said our piece as well, right? In the past, I have said my piece as well that for the greater good, Rashford should go. For
I
the
agree.
greater good of the club, and for himself. But this was
I
during
agree.
the time when he was in
Mm,
Barcelona, right? But it is
mm,
what it is right now. Oh, well,
mm.
kira like kena game lah, you know. Barcelona
Yeah,
signed Anthony
yeah,
Gordon. I mean, we're
yeah.
not going to touch on the Pasar Malam sale of Newcastle, but
We got to invite someone in,
I
then
know,
it become interesting.
where we have to wait for you.
Yeah, we have to wait for
but
him to comment over here when he
but
can come
again,
in.
right? But again, I mean, we're not. I mean, in respects of time, I know. We have had our say about Marcus Rashford. Check out our previous episodes. We have brought it up as well. However, let's leave this to the fans and the viewers out there, right? Your thoughts on Marcus Rashford being reintegrated into the United squad. Which, of course, speaking of all this, Marcus Rashford, I know you highlighted Jose Mourinho.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this one nice, man. I know.
Mm.
I mean, disclaimer. I am yet to watch the documentary. Of course,
Yeah,
I am gonna expect spoilers, but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
okay, right? It's okay.
Mm.
It's not like Marvel Avengers or that kind of movie. But well,
Yeah,
that's an adventure altogether, right?
yeah, yeah.
So, but again, man, I know I am yet to watch it, but it's a brilliant documentary. I would love to think. I mean, who doesn't love Jose Mourinho, lah? I mean,
Mm.
come on, lah.
Pep,
Someone who
Pep, except Pep and Barcelona.
except Pep and some players, right? However,
Mm,
Sharif, you tell me, man. I
mm.
go ahead and spoil it. It's okay. I'm still gonna watch it for my benefit, right? But of course, I know I enjoyed the trailer. It gives me goosebumps when watching the trailer itself, right? On Mourinho on Netflix and all that stuff, right? But what's your take on the overall documentary?
Yeah, I do not want to do a review or
Mm-hmm.
then Netflix have to pay me. But
What?
but I got to see like I got to see whether you like Jose Mourinho or you hate Jose Mourinho,
Mm-hmm.
watch this man. I mean, I got to know a lot
Mm-hmm.
what happened
Mm-hmm.
in Chelsea, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got to say this lah that Matt, I think J- Jose Mourinho, I think you and me, we focus a lot when he came into Manchester United, right? But of course,
Mm-hmm.
we know him from Porto, we know him from
From
Chelsea and
Chelsea
everything,
and
right?
yeah.
But in the documentary, it shows his man management, his commitment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I won't say it's a spoiler, but this is something that Jose said himself, right? Whenever in a club when he goes, right? If you are good and you're willing to put the hard work, you're gonna like him.
Yep.
If you are shit, you're gonna hate him. And of course, I know there are a number of players that maybe does not feel or maybe do believe that he's a good coach, right? But there are a number of players who have won
Yes.
everything in football that
Correct.
believe that he's the one, right? I mean, I could share that how over the moon
Mm-hmm.
Lampard and
Yes,
John
Joe
Terry
Cole. I
is.
think yeah, to name a few as well. Joe Cole,
Yeah, yeah.
Frank Lampard, and all. Yeah.
Yeah, when they got to know that Jose Mourinho is coming back to Chelsea for the second
Yes.
spell, right? Yeah, and I think this is a lot of spoiler there because he actually accepted the offer to join
Yeah. Yeah.
Manchester
Yeah.
United, Matt,
Mm-hmm.
during 2013.
Hmm.
But he got to say that he did after the stint with Real Madrid, he got to come back where he's loved, and definitely it's Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's going to be very tough on him if he comes to Man United after what happens to Real Madrid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And things happen in Real Madrid. So, in a nutshell, I think some will say that prime Jose
Mm-hmm.
Mourinho were over.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you watch this, also you will feel that those days football when it was Real Madrid
Mm-hmm.
versus Barcelona,
Oh
when it was
yes.
Pep
Mm-hmm.
versus Jose Mourinho, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he able to break the domination of Barcelona, right? Uh, and yeah, it's all through hard working. It's all through the experience that he got through being assistant managers, being coach, right? I really adore. It really says that if people right now says that being an assistant is hard, talk to him what he did,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
I do not want to spoil what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Mm-hmm.
and watch.
Mm-hmm.
Go and watch what he did because I know certain fans will or Barcelona fans will call him the translator. He
Mm-hmm.
was not the translator. He translator was one of thing that
Yep.
he did over than his job scope,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, if you want someone that is not being back, not being being challenged, he's the one. He has a goal. He knows what he needs to do, right? And if you don't execute the way he wants, you're out of the team. And if, like I mentioned just now, he mentioned, if you're going to put in your heart and soul, because he's putting in his as well, right? And that's why he deserves all the applause and all the recognition that
Mm-hmm.
he has, right? And look at him right now. He's back
Yep.
in Real Madrid. He's
Yep.
back to a big club. I know. I
Correct.
I remember. I remember even some of us, and even a lot of our circle was saying that Jose Mourinho is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Jose
Mm-hmm.
Mourinho is, and
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean he's no more the Jose Mourinho he is. He's back in Real Madrid because of his style, and Florentino Perez do believe that of all the coaches there, he's the one that able to bring Real Madrid back to the level top, right? And yeah, for me, after watching that, you got to feel, Matt, that if again we've been saying this, I mean, we just said just now, I don't feel Carrick's been backed by Ineos in the summer
Mm-hmm.
transfer window.
Mm-hmm.
But if this have happened in 2007, 2018, where where the Glazers back Jose Mourinho,
Oh, would have been a whole
I
different story, man.
I truly believe that one of those 3 seasons, or maybe when we became second, right? I believe we would have won the Premier League.
Yep.
I truly believe that we
Yep.
would have won the Premier League, right? Of course, it's going to be very hard because he's the one who brought in Paul Pogba, and the next season he said that he wants to sell that, because I don't want to spoil details,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he's the one who bought, I think, almost 3 centre backs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, including Eric Bailly, yes,
Yes.
Eric Bailly, yeah, Eric Bailly, and then eventually he was a good defender. I find it similar with Lisandro Martinez, very
Yes.
very no nonsense type of
Correct.
defender.
Yep.
Yep, and then he bought in Lindelof as well, as we
Yes.
remember, but did not turn out well,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then he wanted to add on to those centre backs, right? So Glazers were not buying that. You have Smalling, you have Daley Blind. We have quite a number of centre backs, but he want to sell most of them, right? So that happened, the riff and everything, and that happened when he went into Inter Milan, when he went to Chelsea, when he won everything, when he went to Real Madrid,
Mm-hmm.
he clears stuff as well. And
Yep.
and again, just to bring all the circle back, right? To the preseason game with AC Milan, right? I know where you're going with this. Look at how Ruben Amorim been back. When he came in after 3 games, people were laughing all the stock like he couldn't win all the preseason, even though it's a quote and unquote preseason. And the next game was Man United. I mean, Ruben Amorim was not. I mean, he don't care anything. Yeah, what he did was he really had the players that he wants to continue and the
Mm-hmm.
players that he does not want to continue,
Yep.
right? It's not because these players are not good enough,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's that these players is not part of his plan. Simple as
Mm-hmm.
that. You move
True.
on, and you move on to a club that able to develop you, right? And and again, like I mentioned, he got Goncalo Ramos.
Gonzalo Ramos. Yep.
Like, imagine if the president of AC Milan said that, you know what, you are doing too much drastic. You shouldn't sell these players,
Mm-hmm.
Nkunku,
Mm-hmm.
the Chelsea defender, I forgot his
Yep.
name again, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are star players and everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Mm-hmm.
that happened in Man United, right?
Yep.
That there were, no, no, please don't sell, no, no,
Yeah. Yeah.
give
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
chance, everything, all those stuff.
Correct.
And again, comparing to Jose Mourinho, I'm not saying that Ruben Amorim is Jose Mourinho, but I say good managers knows what they want. Good managers understand what they want. And
Mm-hmm.
and and sorry to say, up until now, I'm just feeling that Carrick is just doing what he's been given, the tools that he's been given. He's like I know he's a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're having a workshop,
Mm-hmm.
but but you're only being given the tools what the owner feels are
Yes.
the right tools,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, yes, we can open a nut and bolt with a plier. Yes,
Yep.
we can
Yep.
do that, right?
Yep.
But it will be better to have a spanner. You
Yes.
get my
Yeah. Yeah.
analogy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Exactly.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened with the striker. And yes, you can play Mbuemo, yes, you can play Cunha, but you're overcompensating a lot from the team, right?
That's true.
and
That's
and
true.
and and, and that shows a signs where I don't. I don't feel it's a decision again right now. The players coming in, the reintegration of Rashford into the
Mm-hmm.
team. I don't feel that this is something that Carrick has control of or
Mm-hmm.
say in.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was Ruben Amorim or if
Yep.
it was Jose Mourinho,
Mm-hmm.
it will be different. It will be different, man.
I mean, we've always said this offline as well, right? That Jose Mourinho was recently I was saying it, right? That Jose
Yep,
Mourinho was the last best thing that we ever had.
I agree,
The
hands down.
last best thing. Yeah, hands down.
And and,
But
and I got to add something. Sorry, man.
yeah.
I got to add something. And the managers that calls out the owners, right?
Mm-hmm.
Calls out the owners, right? Calls out about their transfer policy.
Mm-hmm.
Calls out about their not backing them,
Mm-hmm.
right? We had Louis van Gaal,
Yep.
we had Jose Mourinho,
Yep.
we had Eric Ten Hag, and also we had Ralf Rangnick.
Yes.
Of course, except Ralf Rangnick because he was in interim.
Yep.
All these three managers won us titles,
Yeah, actually, you're right. You're right.
right? Yes, people might argue, yes, Ole was maybe people will argue, Ole was better
Mm.
because we played a very fancy football.
Mm-hmm.
But where did that get us to, man?
Nowhere.
Yes, everything will be nice and
Mm-hmm.
rosy. Yes, like what's right now happening to with Carrick right now, right? Yes, it looks like the players are enjoying themselves. We are playing with more freedom and so on
Mm-hmm.
and so forth. Okay, yes, good. We got third. We finished the season strong. Now coming in summer, what's next, right?
Yes.
And that's the part that where these managers knows what they need to do. The
Yep.
next step. The next
Correct.
step. Louis Van Gaal knows, Jose Mourinho knows, Eric Ten Hag knows as well,
Yes.
right? And I got to say maybe Ruben Amorim knows as well, but because he was
Not
not
enough
given the
time.
choice,
Not given. Yes. A lot of
not
things wasn't.
time,
Yeah.
and I think we can go along because everyone knows that he plays 3-4-3 or
Yep.
3-2-1, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the investment was not there.
Yep.
Where was his right wing back? Where was his left wing back?
Mm-hmm.
Where was his striker? Where was his
Yes.
two number 10s? And
Correct.
yes, Cunha and Mbeumo came in, but after come January, coming summer,
Mm-hmm.
there were not investment were not over there, right? And and
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, so yeah, it's very ironic that the managers that challenge the status quo
Yep.
won us titles.
Exactly. That is true. They all won. They ended up
They all
winning.
won.
Correct.
They won.
Correct.
Exactly. The
But
last European
Mhm.
title was from Jose Mourinho,
Yeah,
which
actually,
Ole couldn't win with Villarreal.
actually, you're right. But it clearly shows, right, that the club needs overhaul. It needed an overhaul. But when you don't
Yeah,
back when you don't back the manager, that's what you get.
exactly.
That's
It's not a
exactly
manager problem, Matt. It's not a manager problem. I
correct.
think I think we came here right now. We know there's a lot of problem, but we can say right now 99% it's not a manager problem. It's
Yeah.
not a manager problem. And that's why I've been saying from the early start, I
Mm-hmm.
will be pre-season. I
Mm-hmm.
will give a trailer over here. I will be always be challenging Ineos and Glazers. I'm not a fan of them. I don't believe they are right for the club. They are not bringing the club to the right direction. 13 years is enough. I don't think so. We need another 3 years to prove the
True.
same thing again, right?
True.
They have
Yeah.
to go. They have to go.
True.
And if you are giving the last chance, damn with the Carrick
Mm-hmm.
should be with the last chance, right?
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, of course, not only us here in this channel that has been always highlighting Ineos, but it starts with them. A lot of things started with them, right?
I
And where
agree.
has that brought us as well, right? So, yeah, and that's just, again, once again, right? Story of United, lah. So, but then of course, ultimately, we all can. Wow, very hard to say what do we expect in this upcoming season. I know we have a first game against
Hopeful.
Hull. Yeah, I mean, every season it's hopeful lah.
It's always the hope kills, right?
It's that hope that kills, but at the end of the day, it's like I wish the players all the best, right? I mean, with the given
I same here.
additions,
Same here.
with Carrick, of course,
I wish Carrick, yeah, all the best.
yeah. I mean, of
I
course,
want him
yes.
to succeed as well, right?
Who doesn't? Anyone would. I mean, of course, even with even previously under Ollie as
Yeah.
well. I mean, who didn't want him to succeed? Any manager that took the helm, did we not like kind of back them? Not say okay, back the manager or support. Of course, we did to a certain degree as well, right? But of course, there were so many different underlying issues that at the end of the day resulted to the board, and it came from the board that was passed down to the manager. And you
Exactly.
see lah, when there's more than just one way to open the nut and the bolt, right? So
Yeah.
you're only given that tool. So had
Exactly.
to work around that lah. So,
Mm,
and this is my worry as well on
mm,
what's next for United, right? I mean, we
mm.
don't,
Yes. What's
of course,
next?
yeah, exactly, right? So it's like, the first, for 3 to 4 games, I mean, we have a derby as well, right? I think
It's
in
really.
September, I think there's a Manchester
Mm,
derby there. Of course, under new manager, it's going to feel a bit different
mm.
under Enzo Maresca. So.
It's gonna feel almost the same people because it's same, same
Yeah, yeah,
Silao.
yeah. Exactly. So, but again, right, I'm looking forward to this upcoming season. I mean, of course, we did give a fair share of some positives and some of the areas where a bit alarming and all that stuff, right? But where are we going to end up finishing,
Mm,
right? Well, we finished third. That's last season, which was okay. Now
mm.
what's next, right? You are as good as your last game. You are as good as your
Yeah.
last season, right? I mean, I've said this before as well. So with that having said, we have come to the end of the episode. Preparing for the upcoming preseason. Hopeful that hope that kills. And let's see. I don't know. I mean, I think the transfers is open until, is it end of the month or is it until,
Yeah. Stand
something
on
like
the
that.
man.
So,
Mm.
man, let's see who else we can bring in, man. I don't know who. I mean, not that we don't know. There has
I
been
am hoping.
things.
I'm hoping. Yeah, I am hoping Louis Hall. I really hope Louis Hall. And
Exactly.
I got to add another point, Matt.
Mm,
Which you definitely you remind me. This is the only season or only season out of the six big teams. I will not say
mhm,
top team, but
mhm,
big teams.
mhm.
Big six, right? Your Arsenal's, your Liverpool,
The
your
City,
Chelsea, Man United, Spurs, and one more one. Did I miss someone out? Maybe you can
City.
put it. City, yeah, City. Oh my God, I
Hey,
forgot the Blue Neighbors. Yep. Only Arsenal and Man United are having the previous manager in for this new season. So what I'm trying to say, you have two managers.
Mhm,
Of course, you cannot compare Carrick with
mhm.
Arteta because Arteta had 5 or 6 years with
Exactly.
so the other managers are learning with their team during this preseason, right? And not only that, they are being backed up with their transfer
Mhm,
that coming in. You saw players coming in for Chelsea, you see
mhm,
players coming in for Liverpool,
mhm,
City, Anderson. There you go, right?
mhm,
And then Chelsea as well. And then you have Arsenal as well. Arsenal got brought in Bruno Guimaraes after winning the Premier League title, right?
mhm.
For their depth,
Yep.
not for the first, for the depth, right?
Right.
Exactly. So this is the for me this is a very very interesting season, and I feel it's a very very good opportunity for Ineos to play catch up
Mm.
because it's like everyone resets.
Mhm.
You get my
Yep.
point?
Yep.
Everyone resets except Arsenal.
Mhm.
Everyone resets, but then again, when everyone resets, we started again back again by the
Mhm.
transfer market,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
that's where I feel a little bit disappointed and a little bit upset as well.
Mhm.
Why
Yeah.
couldn't we at least compete with them as well? So, but yeah, let's see the season.
Correct.
And that's why I say I'm hopeful.
Mhm.
But if things turns out sour,
Mhm.
then you're going to ponder back to this moment that you say, if you had invested, if you
Yes.
had play catch up, because everyone resets. No one no one will this is not the City's Pep, this is not Klopp's Pep, sorry, Klopp's Liverpool.
Liverpool.
This is not Chelsea that has been built by everything. This is also new. Xabi Alonso just coming in and figuring things out,
Correct.
right? Yeah. And here you and Spurs, you look at Spurs as well.
Correct. With
Yeah,
Robert. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and the number of players that they're bringing in and everything, right? So it's kind of you got to feel that even during the transfer market, even during preseason, where things are all reset, we are also playing catching up as well, and that
Yep.
really bugs me, lah, man. I
True.
got to say on, and I want to hear what the viewers feel, right? Yeah,
Yeah. Exactly. Please.
does
No.
the viewers still feel quote and unquote smart transfer policy or whatever Ineos is calling it?
Exactly. Right. And of course, probably we'll end this episode with probably a question to
Oh,
the Man
whoa!
United fans. We'll end it
If
with a question.
if
Where they play, how they play, if they play.
proven.
Correct, right? But of course, the question would be, right? Of course, yeah, we are as United fans, we are remaining hopeful, right? But besides just wanting to hear it from the fans, Where will United finish in this coming season?
Wow.
Oh, it's a very tricky one. I know I'm also questioning myself. We finished third last season. However, I think oof, with staff, man, I can't answer. I cannot answer if you ask me.
I I
I
think
think
if we
finished third lah.
remain, yeah,
Yeah.
if we remain in Champions League
Mhm,
and have a run in the local cup, right? Of course I feel Champions League to have run. I think
mhm,
Champions League is like a new tournament to us, right?
mhm.
So but if we can get a good run, if we win the title, yeah, whether it's FA or League Cup will be a bonus, right? But I think yeah, I think it's a good progress, right? Uh, Plus with the backing of transfer market comes on.
Yes,
I really want to see Louis Hall a third midfield and at least not, I will not say marquee signing, but a proven striker, at least
proven EPL striker. Yep,
15 goals in like Ollie Watkins, right?
yep.
So yeah, if we can finish in Europe, and then if we can get at least some domestic run
Mhm,
or a title, I think
mhm.
I will consider season success.
Yep.
But my gut feeling, I think we'll finish fifth.
Well, I mean, for me, it's like finish third also okay, but I'm agreeable with you as well, right? I mean, you can finish third or even fifth, but then at least you win any domestic cups like the FA Cups or EFL. I think that would be a pretty decent season. Success questionable, but I think it will be a decent season. But ultimately, we want to hear from the fans, right? Let us know what are your hopes, hopes for United this upcoming season. Till then, I know I mentioned it earlier that we have come to the end of the episode, and and we are now finally at the end of the episode, right? Uh, Definitely end. Exactly. So, of course, stick around to the next episode where we'll be covering after we enter the first match of the new Premier League season. I'm really
Let's
looking
go.
forward to that against a newly promoted side, Hull City. Hey,
Ricky,
Harry Maguire's former club. Don't play.
Oh.
They're nice to watch that one. So,
maybe you can give a header.
exactly, right? So, with that having said, of course, this is Matt, your host, signing out alongside Shariff. Once again, man, thanks a lot for joining. Stick around to the next
My pleasure.
episode. Peace out. Cheers.
Comment.
Haaland, Haaland.
Apa you halan?